I'm Kesenya and welcome to this week's Astro Weather Report. We're going to dig into what is happening in the astral skies this week, and I'm going to show you how it will affect you in your day-to-day journey. A big welcome to anyone who is new to astrology. It is lovely to have you here, and it's my hope and prayer that this video helps you understand astrology so much better in a richer, deeper way. You're so welcome here. A big welcome also to my old friends who've been with me for a few years now. Once again, it's lovely to have you with me every week looking at what's happening in the skies. And a big kiss, as always, to my guiding star Patreon family. It's wonderful to have you joining me here as always as well. Thank you. Well, you may not have heard many astrologers talk about this, but it is going to be quite an interesting week for relationships this week. There is a lot going on in the heavens concerning relationships. There's a lot going on, full stop. I mean, we're all feeling this at the moment. It is really, really intense. And I'm going to break down for you what is going on. So this week, first of all, we have a massive amount of planets down here in Aquarius. And my chart's a little bit on a funny angle there, but I hope it works for you just the same. You can see we have the Sun, we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, we have Venus, we have Mercury, and for a couple of days we're going to have the Moon this week, all in the one sign. This is very special. I'm going to talk about that in a little while, so stick with me. Before we get to it, I should also explain for those who are new to my channel, I give you an overview of what's happening in the skies, how it's going to impact you, and then I break down individually for each sign how the impact might play out for you. So it's worth sticking with this intro. You'll get so much more out of it. You'll learn so much more astrology. So let's go through the key dates this week, and practically every day this week is a key date this week. We're starting with the 6th. There's a Saturday the 6th in Australia at least. It's Venus conjunct with Saturn. Now, I've tried to squash all the planets in here. It's been a little bit difficult because they're all so jam-packed in Aquarius. But Venus will conjunct Saturn on the 6th of February. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. That's quite a doozy when it comes to relationships. And then we're going to see also on the 7th of February, the very day after, we're going to see a square aspect between Venus and the planet Uranus in Taurus. Now, this is quite significant. The fact that these two are in, firstly, Uranus in Taurus and Venus in Aquarius. I'm going to talk more about why that's particularly significant. And in fact, it may just be that Venus in Aquarius, while Uranus is in Taurus, is what's going to hold space for us this week with any other upheavals that might be present. So stick with me. I'm going to talk more about that in just a second after I've gone through this list of dates for you. Mercury is going to conjunct the Sun. This is happening on the 8th. So here it's Mercury down here. He's actually retrograding now. The Sun is I've tried to squish him in there, but he's a big planet. So they're going to be conjunct at the same degree on the 8th. We're going to talk about that too. Mercury is also going to square Mars then on the 7th. Sorry, not the 7th. The Mercury will square Mars on the 10th. And so here, whoop, that's a rather awkward looking square, but that's what's happening. Mars also in Taurus there with Uranus. So they are going to be making a square, Mercury and Mars. That's occurring on the 10th. On the 12th, we have the conjunction of the Moon and the Sun. Boom, that's a new moon in Aquarius with all this monstrous, massive Aquarian energy playing out as well. So you can see the emphasis this week very strongly on Aquarius, and that new moon is going to be a big, big part of that. Not only that, but on the same day as we have the moon conjunct the Sun in Aquarius, Venus is going to conjunct Jupiter, very auspicious. That's happening at the new moon as well the 12th of February. And all these dates are for Australian time, so just for those who aren't aware. Mercury is going to then conjunct with Venus. Mercury is retrograding, Venus is moving forward. That's happening on the 13th of February. So it's bang, 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 bang. Hit after hit after hit. And you'll see that the predominant planet making the various different hits and aspects this week predominantly is Venus. There is a big emphasis on Venus. Let's talk a little bit more about Venus. And I said that it's Venus in Aquarius that's really, in a sense, going to be holding space for us this week. The reason is that Uranus in Taurus, and we're using modern rulerships here for this assessment, okay? Uranus rules Aquarius, and Uranus is sitting in Venus's sign Taurus. Venus is sitting in Uranus's sign Aquarius. This is what is known as a mutual exchange of planetary houses or ownership. They're in each other's houses. In the Vedic system, although they don't tend to use the modern planets, which is unfortunate, but this would be called a Parivartana Yoga, even though I'm using a modern interpretation because of Uranus's involvement. They don't actually refer to the outer planets in the ancient Vedic system. But if we were to use the exchange idea, which is what a Parivartana is, that's what we've got going on. A Parivartana Yoga between this modern planet Uranus in Venus's sign, Venus in Aquarius's sign. Sorry, Uranus's sign of rulership. So it's a mutual exchange. What does this even mean? Well, when we have a mutual exchange like this, it means that the planet in the other planet's sign is going to be uplifted and held. And it's going to give better results than would usually be the case. Now, Uranus is actually in its fall in the sign of Taurus. So the results it's giving are not that flash and a bit mixed. Although in my opinion, my jury is kind of still assessing the totality of the negative influence of the outer planets in their purported signs of fall and exaltation and so on. I haven't really seen that it's quite as significant for the outer planets being in fall or exalted and all that sort of thing. The reason being is the outer planets spend so much time in a single sign that it's really like we have a mixed bag often of good and bad results throughout, say, the 7-year period of Uranus in Taurus or the 14-year period of Neptune, in this case in Pisces. We see a mixed bag of different events and different results happening in the collective on Earth. It's a lot harder to say that a planet is in fall or giving bad results when it's covering such a broad span of time. We tend to see the influences rather than anything positive or negative. So I hope you're following me there. But for, traditional Western astrologers, Uranus is in fall in the sign of Taurus. Venus is quite okay, and I use Friendship of the Planets for my assessment of dignities. Venus is quite okay in the sign of Aquarius. And in that sense, we're going to see, also Venus is in Uranus's sign, and therefore it is going to give better results, better energetic output because it's in a mutual exchange, because it's making this Parivartana Yoga. So I am grateful for this exchange this week. I think it's really going to help lift the energy on Earth, and we need that at this time, not only because there's a lot of upheaval, yes, I realize that, but because what else is happening this week is this stellium here in Aquarius. So as we all know, those who love astrology and follow astrology, and even those who are new to astrology, have sensed that there's been a big shift in the world that's occurred, and we are now living or experiencing a stronger emphasis on Aquarian themes in the world. And on that topic, I want to give a big shout out of gratitude to all the guys who were on Reddit and got involved with the GameStop process. I mean, I was just cheering for you. And it's wonderful, wonderful news what happened there on the stock exchange. I am all for victory for the little guy, victory for the common people, and that's what that was, I just want to see more of that happen, and we are going to see more of that happen because of the intensity of the Aquarian energy, which is it's not about getting rid of top-down structures, but it's about things becoming more evenly dispersed. Everything's distributed to those who need it, and nobody is sort of above anybody else, and we're all collectively in this together. And so I'm loving seeing these top-down approaches, these elitist behaviors come crashing down. I just want to see some, maybe this will start it actually. Maybe this will give some inspiration to say somebody in Australia to get to buy back all the water that's been bought up by politicians in Australia privately, and other sort of celebrities who've bought up water and leaving, people who are actually farming the land destitute of water to be able to grow food. And the same's happening in America. I know this. Bill Gates has bought up big swathes of the Missouri and Mississippi rivers and all along coastlines as well. So do be careful, Hopefully what we see happening, this is a subject that's very dear to my heart, is the precious commodity of water for food and for life. Hopefully what we see happening is people sort of joining together, banding together to overturn the apple cart, so to speak, of what is currently existing regarding water commodity, water trading. So that's my prayer. I think that's a big necessity in the world. And there'll be many other areas of life as well that I think could be very inspired by what's happened on the stock market to really bring down the corruption, bring down the game playing, and more of it. I say bravo, you guys. So big thank you to anyone who is involved with that. And that is a reflection of Aquarian energy. It's beautiful to see. Back to this stellium that's occurring this week. Well, there's actually two ways of assessing a stellium. And now I mentioned how Venus is going to hold space for us, thank God, this week. What the challenge is, I should say, is that there are so many planets in Aquarius with the sun. And that means all these planets in Aquarius are not visible in the sky. And when a planet in ancient assessment is not visible, then it's not giving its results. It's not giving its consciousness to humanity. It's not giving its energy to humanity. This is one of the assessments of, say, a stellium in this case, involving the sun. Things are burnt by the sun. The energy of a planet is usurped by the sun. So we can't see Jupiter, we can't see Saturn, we can't see Venus, we can't see Mercury, and we won't see the moon later this week because they're all so close to the sun. The planets are combust. Now, what's very interesting is that if we're talking about debilitations, the sun is actually in its debilitation also in Aquarius. So not only are these planets hidden that are part of this stellium, but the sun is also a bit not giving its best results in the sign of Aquarius. And one of the reasons, there are a few reasons for this, but one of the reasons for this is that Aquarius is about everybody, the common man, the masses, the hoi polloi, the people, which I've just illustrated by my comment about the Reddit guys. That's what Aquarian, in a basic sense, energy is all about. What is the sun all about? Me, my kingship, my lordship over my kingdom. So they're very different energies. Aquarius is about everyone and the sun's about me. So there is this real polarity, and indeed the sun rules the sign opposite Aquarius for that very reason. There's a real polarity going on. And so the sun is not giving its finest results, its purest results here in the sign of Aquarius. So we've got all these planets kind of suffering in this particular stellium, and of course they're all being squared by Uranus, Mars, that volatile combination in the sign of Taurus. So it's a difficult energy under that assessment of this particular stellium in Aquarius, and without the sort of support of this Parivartana or mutual exchange going on, we could see a lot of tenseness, frustration, and we're going to break down what we're going to see through each of those individual days that I mentioned a moment ago. But the general idea here is that it's a very difficult energy to be under. And certainly almost everyone I talk to has been feeling really tired. It's hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's difficult to find enthusiasm and vitality. That's what everyone's been feeling at the moment because so many planets are invisible and it's draining. So it's harder to find what you need to get through the day. So I'm sort of burning out by about 3 or 4 in the afternoon at the moment. And, my kids are struggling to get going in the morning. And, not only my family, but all my friends are saying the same thing. It seems to be very common at the moment. So don't feel bad if you're struggling to get out of bed. You're not alone. So what does Aquarius rule in your chart? Well, it might be difficult to move forward in that area of life, depending on where Aquarius in whole sign astrology falls for you right now. We feel drained, as I said, we might feel melancholy, we might feel despondent, we might feel a bit depressed even sometimes under this energy, a bit meh, and that's okay, it's going to pass. Hang in there. In about sort of 2 to 3 weeks, this is all going to go. We've just got to ride it out, get through it. This square aspect being made from Mars, particularly to the stellium in Aquarius, is going to agitate. That's what Mars can do when it's sort of in a difficult position, like a square aspect. It's agitating these feelings of frustration or depression or, no, I can't make things happen, or I'm too tired or whatever. Mars is not the planet of tiredness. It's about energy and enthusiasm, but it's aggravating the fact that we are feeling a bit meh because we want to move forward. We come on, let's do it, let's go. And it's like, my body just doesn't have the energy, or don't have the drive, or the creative juices aren't flowing. And so Mars is frustrated. And it's frustrating this energy here in Aquarius. We are lackluster, we're frustrated by our blahness this week. So that's one interpretation of how this stellium in Aquarius is affecting people. Now there's a flip side to this. There's another interpretation of stelliums, and that's to look at the general influence of what a stellium does. Now in my type of astrology, which I call holistic astrology, drawing from many schools and thoughts of thought concepts about astrology. In holistic astrology, I consider that 4 or more planets in a single sign is a stellium, particularly when we're looking at inner planets, like Mercury and Venus, and if Mars was involved and so on. So when 4 or more planets, and in this case we've got a couple of outer planets, Saturn and Jupiter as well, are in the same sign, that becomes a stellium of planets, a collection of planets, a group of planets basically, all in the one room of the house. Now if you have a stellium of 4 or more planets in a single sign in your chart, doesn't matter what degree they're at, if they're all in the same sign, they're all in the same room, this is a stellium. It's a combination that forms something like a super planet, we would call it. And if that's what you've got in your natal chart in any sign, then you should pay attention to whatever I speak about regarding that sign in my weekly forecast, because it will have the energy of the sun. If you, regardless of whether the sun is part of the stellium in your chart or not, you are going to be under a strong, just say you've got 4 planets in the sign of Cancer and the sun isn't involved. That stellium in Cancer is as important as your sun sign. So be sure to pay attention to any forecasts about that particular stellium in Cancer in this example. So a stellium really packs a whopping punch in a person's life. If the sun wasn't involved, as I said, it can outshine the sun in influence. Now in this case, this week, the sun is involved, so it's just even more of a powerful energy. So there's a heightened focus when we have a stellium on the given house where the stellium resides, because all the energy is directed here, all the influence, all the focus, all the in this case, our relationships directed to the house of Aquarius, our working capacity with Saturn directed to the house of Aquarius, our joy directed to the house of Aquarius, our intellect and our communications, Mercury directed to the house of Aquarius, and so on and so on. There's just all the focus is in this realm of the chart, and everything else misses out. One thing that a stellium represents, particularly in a natal chart, but we can apply it to this transiting stellium as well, it represents not only a heightened focus, but a special mission that must be accomplished under this energy. So if you've got a stellium in your natal chart, well, you're here with a special mission in life. You've got something that you must accomplish for the greater good of mankind, particularly in Aquarius, that would be the case. But, you might be here to accomplish some creative process, or to heal some wounds, and that's your special mission, or to contribute something wonderful to your own life, or to your family, or to your loved ones. Or you're here with a mission. You're here with a very special, significant purpose. So if you're assessing a chart for life purpose, a stellium is just so important. It's also representative of great creative capacity. Now, Aquarius is a very inventive sign, progressive sign, so we can expect this week there might actually be great creativity that comes out of the energies of the next week or two. because there's just so much intense creativity of a progressive kind now being directed towards Aquarius. The difficulties with a stellium are that, as I mentioned a moment ago, everything else is empty. You know, there's no focus here on Libra. There's no focus on Virgo, Leo, Cancer, blah, blah, blah. They're just lacking emphasis in those houses or signs of the chart. So because everything is all about Aquarius, and perhaps society needs this at the moment. This is probably one of the big reasons why we saw what happened on Wall Street recently, because the emphasis is all about equalitarianism, humanitarianism, bringing down these top-down structures so that everything is a level playing field. And that's why it's happening now. And we're going to see, I believe, more of it in the week ahead, maybe in the next couple of weeks of February. The other thing that I always notice with a stellium is that people find it hard to work for others. And this is going to be just so predominant now because it's in Aquarius that we're experiencing a transiting stellium. The reason that is that this gives a heightened sensitivity to a person when they have a stellium in the chart. They're just more sensitized. And if you work for someone else, you end up getting criticized, or you end up getting, faults pointed out, or you work with a real dud, some boss who's a pain in the ass, or, we all have had sort of workplace experiences with arrogant people and bullies and pushy people and that sort of thing. And for a sensitized person with a stellium in their natal chart, it's too much. They can't handle it. And right now in Aquarius, where we don't like people telling us what to do, thank you very much, and we will rebel against that, we are going to be highly sensitized to those people sort of pushing our buttons. You must do this. I'm going to criticize you about that, and you shouldn't do that. And we're going to be like, screw you, buddy. So for anyone with a stellium in their natal chart, you actually are better off working for yourself because of this sensitivity to the behaviors of people in the workplace in many situations. And you can feel a bit more like a loner too in the world when you've got a stellium, because you've just got such an intense focus on one area of life that it can give you an obsessive quality, and nobody understands quite why you're so obsessed about whatever it happens to be. Maybe, astrology, you're obsessed about astrology, and everyone else is scratching their head going, why? Well, what's the deal? And it can make you feel like a bit of a loner. So there's that as well. But here in Aquarius, okay, so we might see a lot of astrologers come out of this period of history. Aquarius is connected with the idea of astrology. We might see a lot of new inventions. We might see many progressive movements, such as bringing down the top dogs on Wall Street. We're going to see a lot of these movements towards equality, rebelliousness, changing and mixing up the status quo, and that's not always easy to navigate, is it? We want the change, but it requires a lot of upheaval for the change to come. But it needs to come. And of course, the square aspect from Uranus and Mars is agitating all of that. I see it for being for the best. I really, really do. I think it is part of the ushering in of the new paradigm, and we've talked a lot about that in previous videos over the last month or so. I see this as ushering in the new paradigm, and it is up to us to channel the highest vibration that we can, to be, the most positive, the most forward-thinking, the most aspirational, the most kind, loving people that we can be throughout this period of time, to bring in the best quality of Aquarian energy that is being born right now in this era, particularly for the next 20 years, I would add as well. This is just reiterating it, and it's exciting. It's getting the ball rolling. It's getting it cracking with a great deal of momentum. So I'm thrilled by this stellium, and that's how I actually sit with this interpretation. Yep, the planets might be invisible, but I actually feel that there's just so much emphasis rather on this area of the chart that is going to produce, beautiful results for us in the long term. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comments below. Do you think that we're all going to be sort of usurped and burnt out by the proximity of planets to the sun? Or do you think this is a potential for great awakening and production of inventions and ideas and so forth that's going to take us further into Aquarian age energy? What are your thoughts? Now, this is not the first time we've had a stellium in in Aquarius. I mean, this is not an uncommon occurrence. The last time we had a stellium like this one in Aquarius was back in 1962, interestingly. Following on from that, sort of for the latter part of the 60s, we also had Uranus conjunct with Pluto in Virgo, and that caused a lot of what we saw happening in the 1960s, which is one of my favorite eras. I absolutely love the 60s. So we had a lot of Aquarian energy. Firstly, we had the stellium in 1962, and then following on in the remainder of the 60s, we had Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, same type of energy and same type of idea, kind of at a core, as Aquarius, and conjunct with Pluto. So transformation of an Aquarian kind was happening all through the 1960s, kicked off by this stellium in Aquarius in 1962. So what did we see in the 60s? We saw powerful themes of rebellion, of women's rights, racial relations, movements of all sorts, a sort of disbanding of traditional conservatism and a leaving behind of old religious practices that started back then. Free love. We saw welcoming in of the hippie era, and alternative practices really started to rise up in the 1960s. Liberation, or at least the beginnings of liberation, the seeds were planted in the 1960s. Like I said, more reaching for equality. We also saw not the arrival of the generation gap, but an increase in the generation gap. And Uranian Aquarian type energy is a bit like a teenager that doesn't want to be told what to do. Saturn is the father figure saying, you make sure you're home at 10 o'clock tonight or I'll be, cranky and whatever. I'm not having a child of mine running around the streets. And Uranus is like, screw you, Dad, I'm going out and I'm going to the party. That's the rebellious energy. And we saw this generation gap become very strong in the 1960s as youth culture began to predominate. Now, I love this actually because the whole 60s culture of fashion and music and progress and space travel and stuff like that I wish I'd been alive in the 60s to experience that. I mean, I don't know if you can see up the back there. I'll move this just briefly, but that's that picture behind me is a picture of the Beatles, a cartoon picture of the Beatles, my favorite band. So the 60s is awesome. It's very Uranian energy. And for those of us who have a strong Uranus in our chart, we're going to love that sort of thing. Just on the whole music thing, every 20 years we kind of get a bit of a refresh with the music styles and the music genres that are popular. And that usually coincides with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that occurs every 20 years. And so I'm like, yeah, thank God, let's get a kick in the pants to the music industry. And hopefully, because of all this, we might see a bit of Uranian themes coming back into our music and in the lyrics that are spoken about, in the edgy style that could be present. I'm like, yeah, bring it on. So that's what I'm seeing with the stellium, and it's actually the stellium in Aquarius that I'm going to be sort of breaking down for each sign when we go through the all signs breakdown. So stick around with me for that. But for now, let's break down each of the individual energies, and I'm going to do this fairly quickly, or else this is going to be like a 3-hour video. What is falling in place for us this week with the astral energies. And as I said, Venus conjunct Saturn is the first one out of the gate. That's happening on the 6th of February, and it's occurring conjunction here at 5 degrees of the sign of Aquarius. Now, we do have an intense focus on relationships this week because Venus is doing so much activity and getting involved with nearly every planet. It's sharing herself around, good old Venus. But what is really, really interesting is at the beginning of the week, relationships are going to be under strain, under pressure, under tension. But by the end of the week, relationships could blossom. So do listen to all the things I'm going to describe here, because if you're in a relationship or if you're looking for a relationship, this is for you, okay? So feeling sad, feeling lonely around the 6th, that's a Saturday in Australia, keenly noticing any lack of affection in our lives, and that can bring us down, that can make us melancholy. Not only that, but with planets invisible as well, like I just feel like everything's missing in my life. Like I'm missing out on love, or I'm missing out on abundance, or I'm missing out on affection, those kinds of things. And coupled with the Venus-Saturn conjunction, there could be a lot of despondency regarding relationships that is in the ether. So let's remember to be kind to one another. Let's remember to reach out and do generous things, do loving things, do affectionate things for the people that we care about. We all are really going to need it at the beginning of this week. So there's stress on existing relationships that's coming from the conjunction of Venus and Saturn. And if you have planets at around 5 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus, then you're going to notice it even more, particularly if you've got like an ascendant there or your moon there. If you've got a Venus there, then you'll be having a Venus square. So any of your personal planets there will really make you feel that energy even more. This is in the fixed signs as well. So if you are in an abusive type relationship, and you know some of us are, and it's difficult to get out. If you're in an abusive relationship, it's not always just a walk in the park, leave, walk out the front door and away you go to your new lives. For some people, they are quite trapped in abusive relationships. I want to just tell you, on this day, if you're in a relationship like that, or you know somebody who is, get them out of their domestic environment on this day. Don't be around that abusive partner. So if you can sort of go visit a friend or go visit a family member, particularly if you've got children, take them with you. Be careful at this time. Remove yourself from any abusive domestic or relational situations under this energy, please, for your own well-being. Now, this just doesn't last for the 6th of February, but it also is going to carry on to the following day, the 7th as well. I'll talk more about the 7th in a minute. And keep in mind too, I'm giving you Australian dates. So if you're in America, make it the 7th and 8th, perhaps, that I'm referring to. Extend this period out where you need to just sort of get away from your domestic environment to look after yourself. It's not a helpful energy for starting relationships, Venus conjunct Saturn. So starting a relationship on this day will give you a chart that carries the energy of Venus conjunct Saturn. Let me tell you, I've got that in my natal chart. It sucks for relationships. The relationship over time will lack affection, will lack love. You'll feel lame in the relationship. There's a big feeling of I'm not worthy. I don't deserve this. So please don't start relationships under this energy. I mean, you can, and often when people do, they notice that there's big age gaps between parties involved in a relationship when it's got this influence. But the romance and the affection is going to sort of fall away or be starved over time. So better to give it a few days, and before you go, out on that first date or whatever, give yourself some space. Venus is also money. And so watch your budget at this time. This is a time when money can be a little bit tight. You might have to sort of pull in the belt. I'm not going to have a coffee today, or I see that nail polish and I think it's really gorgeous, but I'm just going to have to hold off on getting that till the budget is back in the black. This is the energy of this day as well. The things can be a little bit tight financially. Now, moving on to the next energy that we want to talk about, and this is Venus making a square to Uranus, and this is occurring on February the 7th in Australia at 6 degrees of Aquarius, and Uranus is at 6 degrees of Taurus. This is adding an extra bit of disruption to relationships because, yes, these two are involved in their mutual exchange or their parivartana, but it is going to still be very disruptive because it's a square aspect. So there's tension that can be felt on this day in relationships. Venus is relationships. Uranus can be causing upheaval in relationships on this day. We might desire more freedom. We might desire more liberation in our particular relationship if we're already in one. We have a lack of patience regarding the relationships that we are in. And if we're single, we can sort of be very frustrated by our relationship status, or sometimes we might even attract very risky people, eccentric people, sort of erratic people, unhinged people into our relational sphere if we're single. So be very careful again about relationships on this particular day. Now, we can be lashing out when we are in relationships and we're frustrated by relationships. So be careful if you're in a problematic relationship or a relational situation, as I said, with the Venus-Saturn, any abusive relationship. And I also just add the day after, which is the Venus-Uranus square, because that is an energy of lashing out and sort of, I want to break free, I'm sick to death of this and screw you kind of, that can cause more exacerbation of this abusive quality, simply because Venus is still so close to Saturn. It's not in a conjunction, but it's still under its energy. So this is a day when that can befall as well, unfortunately. So be very careful if you're in a problematic relational situation, okay? If you can leave, please do so. Now, if you're in a relationship and it's not of that nature, if it's a loving relationship and a great relationship, you could still be experiencing some tension relationally on this day, the 7th in Australia. What I would suggest is experimenting in the bedroom, experimenting with sex, experimenting with sensual pleasures with a partner, because Uranus loves to experiment and Venus is sensuality and sort of the tactile sexuality. It's not sort of desire, it's more sensual experiences. And so that's one way of dealing with this in a positive sense. I would also encourage you perhaps to give yourself some breathing space. Every relationship needs a bit of breathing space every now and again. Go out with your girlfriends or go out with your mates and give the relationship some space to breathe, give some liberation and freedom to your relationship, some trust as well, I would add too, to your partner, by saying, okay, you have a great day with your buddies out fishing, and yeah, we're going to go to a concert and see you later. Do that, indulge in that, or make space for that in whatever way you may need to under this energy, and you'll cope better with it too. And of course, because Venus is about money and Uranus is sudden things, you might find that you are having sudden outlays of money, or sudden expenditure, and perhaps avoid going shopping because, unless you've got money to burn, but you might see something like, I saw a crystal ball, again, I think it's behind me there it is. I saw a crystal ball when I was on holidays, and I'm like, my daughter twisted my arm and I was like, sudden expenditure of money. Mum, you need a crystal ball. I'm like, do I really need a crystal ball? She talked me into it. So sudden expenditure out of the blue, didn't see it coming, weren't hunting for that particular product, but there it was, and there goes your money. That can happen also, particularly on this day. Third energy that we're looking at for this week ahead is Mercury conjunct the Sun on the 8th of February in Australia. This is happening at 19 degrees of Aquarius. This is a great day for clear thinking, a great day for short travels, a great day for socialization, connecting, so things start to improve on this day. Yay! It's a good time, or a better time, for business activity, great for meeting new people. Now, Mercury is retrograding, so I wouldn't go signing contracts on this day, but just generally in business, making plans about your business or making connections for your business, doing some networking, all good on this day. Mercury in its conjunction with the Sun is better. When a planet is conjunct to the exact degree and minute with the Sun, it gives great results because the planet is in the court of the king, so to speak. When the planet moves beyond or is before that exact conjunction, then it's burnt, as we were describing earlier. So on the day when Mercury is conjunct the Sun, it's actually going to give good results of a Mercury nature, because the king has got the ear of Mercury and is listening to what Mercury has to say and can help Mercury overcome Mercury problems that might be being experienced. Now, we're going to move on. The fourth energy of this week is Mercury square to Mars, and this is happening on the 10th of February, and it's happening at 18 degrees of Aquarius. So here is Mercury making a square to Mars at 18 degrees. Now, this causes erratic thinking. Mars is sort of this very energetic energy, and Mercury is our thinking processes and our learning processes, and so our thinking is a bit, it's quick, it's fast, brilliant, but it can be really all over the place. We're jumping from one thought to another, one idea to the next, and we can't stick with anything, and it's just erratic. We also become rushed, we can become very short-tempered, we can become very cranky. So not exactly a fun day, this one. There can be disagreements, there can be verbal fights. Again, it's going to be difficult for relationships, not because these are relationship planets per se, but because just verbal fights, if you've had your buttons being pushed by Venus square to Uranus this week, and then you hit Mercury square Mars, it's like, right, I'm going to let you have it. This is what I think. argue, argue, argue. So it's all tying in together this week. They're all impacting one another because they're all so close together. And this is another one of those difficulties. Mercury is to study and to learn something, and because your brain is so erratic and rushed, it's hard to absorb information because you'd be reading a book and then I'm sick of that, and pick up another book, read that book instead. I've been feeling this ever since Mercury went retrograde. I just can't stick with a single book. I'll read a paragraph and I'm like, pfft. So I'm like, I'm just going to forget it. I'm not going to read anything for the next little while until Mercury's out of its retrograde phase, because nothing's going in, and I just am so impatient with my reading processes. So this is going to be exacerbated. I'd encourage you to find outlets for your unsettled mind. So maybe that's going for a walk, just removing yourself from a situation that's frustrating you. Go for a walk in the fresh air, do crosswords, do brain teasers, because both Mercury and Mars like games. They like to play. So if you can focus the energy of your mental activity into games, maybe playing board games with the kids, or Boulder Dash, or Trivial Pursuit, or something like that, where you're using your mental processes to play, then both of these planets are more satisfied. That could be very, very helpful. Brain teasers, also creative work is really, really good. So, using your fingers, using your hands, using whatever dexterity you need for your particular hobby can be very helpful too, because Mars is a very creative planet. It's a fire energy. And if you're using your hands, Mercury, to be creative, then the energy is also satisfied and you will mitigate a lot of the issues, a lot of the problems. Then we hit the new moon. The new moon is happening on the 12th of February, and it's happening at 23 degrees here of Aquarius. So about there. I've got them all sort of bunched up, but 23 degrees is where it's occurring. Now, I do talk extensively about this new moon, and it's quite a doozy. And I will be talking about that in my Patreon video that will be coming out this week. My guiding star family, if you want to call it us that, will be getting that special video. So if you want to be part of that, it's $5 a month. You get the new moon video, you get the full moon video each month, plus an extra astrological video to learn more astrology and to be able to apply it to your life. So there's plenty of information. Plus you get to converse and leave comments and discuss with other astrology lovers in the astrology family there. So check that out. The link's in the description below if you would like more about that. But what I can say about this new moon in this video, just briefly, is that it's going to herald big new beginnings. And I'll talk about where those new beginnings will be falling for each sign in my Guiding Star Family Patreon page. But new beginnings with strong Aquarian themes, strong themes of equality, strong themes of justice, strong themes of liberation and freedom and truth. And I love it. I'm just so excited for this new moon. It could be very special. We also have 8 planets in fixed signs for this new moon. So whatever is instigated now under this new beginnings of this new moon, whatever is instigated is going to stick. It's going to last. So it's very important to know how to work with this energy the best you can. You don't want to instigate something that ends up being a pain in the ass for you in the long term. You want to instigate something that's going to bring more light, more beauty, more joy, more wonder, more graciousness into your life experience and your journey. So join me for that video. The link's in the description below. Finally, this week, we're having, on the same day as the new moon, and this is really quite special as well, we're having Venus conjunct with Jupiter. And this is a beautiful energy. So 12th of February, depending where you are in the world, certainly 12th of February here in Australia, at 12 degrees of Aquarius. This is occurring when Jupiter and Venus are getting jiggy with it. So any planets at 12 degrees of the air signs, so 12 degrees of Aquarius, 12 degrees of Libra, and 12 degrees of Gemini are going to get the full-blown benefit of this glorious conjunction. Finally, after a week of upheaval with relationships, this energy is saying, okay, let's catch our breath and let's enjoy the relationships we had. Let's make the most of relationship energy in a positive sense. And we're going to need that towards the end of the coming week after what's happening in the beginning. What does Venus conjunct Jupiter do? Well, it brings more happiness, more joy, more financial growth, more abundance, and sometimes richness in love as well. Because Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and it's touching Venus, which is all about forgiveness, all about love, all about affection, all about happiness and harmony. So bring it. This is awesome. This is an energy I think that we're really going to be hanging out for this week. Also, we see when this conjunction is made, it often heralds positive karmic fruit for the collective and also for individuals, especially if you've got, as I said, personal planets around that degree, 12 degrees. So if you've been being loving, if you've been being kind, being generous, being giving, then you get the rewards under this energy. So, it's not, you can evaluate, have I been a good girl? It's like, is Santa going to bring me presents this Christmas? It's kind of like that, I suppose. But, it's a reminder to us to sow good seeds so that we can reap good rewards when this annual occurrence comes around. So if you've been sowing good seeds, you might reap a beautiful harvest under this particular energy. Beauty, it will become more noticeable in the world. Jupiter will expand the Venusian love for beauty and appreciation for beauty that will be present in our lives. And you might even feel more beautiful. You might feel more harmonious and imbalanced. You might feel more friendly. You might feel more popular under this particular energy as well. And that's a great way to be. And because you'll be feeling this way, you actually will attract into your life more of those beautiful experiences. It's the old Hermetic principle of as within, so without. How I'm feeling on the inside colors the experiences I get from the universe coming back to me. So you might experience more opportunities to be friendly. You might experience more opportunities to be beautiful. You might experience more opportunities to be loving and forgiving and affectionate. It's a beautiful energy. It's great if you're single because you can actually feel more desirable under this energy. And it's a great transit for falling in love too. I mean, this is the energy you want in the chart of a beginning new relationship, to have this. It is also, sometimes we see it correlating to people who find their perfect match, the person that they've been looking for. Sometimes, and maybe that's a karmic reward that occurs under this energy too, as I said, a fruiting. Sometimes people find the one they're looking for. But it all depends how this energy of Jupiter conjunct Saturn at 12 degrees would be playing out in relationship to your natal chart and probably the natal chart of your soulmate as well. So it can enhance romance in existing relationships. If you're in a loving relationship, then it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to, have a candlelit bath together, or, do something beautiful, something special that's very sensual, very tactile together. Give each other a massage, or maybe, if you're into spending money together, go out to a beautiful restaurant and just make it your date night this week, because the energy is going to be powerful and enhanced for you to really find your happiness in that date with your partner, with your loved one. And we also get more financial opportunities under this energy too, wealth creation and even sudden windfalls, because Jupiter in ancient mythology, it was like Zeus. Jupiter, Zeus, they were the Greek and Roman versions of the same thing. And what did Jupiter and Zeus? They carried a lightning bolt. And so there's a touch of Uranian energy. Uranus rules the sky and lightning and so forth. But there's a touch of Uranian energy in Jupiter, in that he can give sudden results. He can give sort of things that come out of the blue. The lightning, there it flashes, it cracks down to earth unexpectedly and out of the blue, and all of a sudden, and boom, there it is. Jupiter carries that. So we can have sudden windfalls under this energy. So it could be sudden love coming into your life. It could be a sudden opportunity for something, depending on what Venus rules in your natal chart. It could be sudden money, sudden affection, sudden beauty. All the things that are Venus related could come suddenly. Sorry, and finally, the last energy for the week ahead, we're at number 7 here. Mercury conjuncts Venus. This is happening on the 13th of February, the day after the new moon. And this is happening at 14 degrees of Aquarius. what is Mercury conjunct Venus? It's speaking words of love. So that new love you met on the 12th, well, you might just get a beautiful text or a love letter or something like that from them on the 13th, because people are going to want to verbalize their feelings of warmth, their feeling of love, their feeling of affection, telling somebody how they really feel. So if you've been, you know, had the hots for someone for a while and you haven't had the courage to ask them out on a date, the end of this week coming is going to be perfect for that. You will express love with words, but also with gifts as well. Tokens, displays of affection will also come forth for some people on this day. It's beautiful. Beautiful energy at the end of the week for relationships. It's great for trading as well, because both Venus and Mercury have connections to buying and selling and trading and dealing and negotiating. It's really good for making new friends under this energy. Both Mercury and Venus are very sort of friendly planets. And, you know, if, like I said, if you've been waiting to ask someone out on a date, this energy is going to support you in doing so. It's going to give you not so much the courage, but it's going to give you the words, you know, that pickup line that you've been needing, or the right sentence to put to your much admired one. Then, you know, it's going to be really fun for that. And going on a first date is very supported under this energy. Yay. So bring on the end of the week. Well, what an intro. Like, I'm just looking at the timer. Nearly an hour it's taken me to get through the energies of this week. And that is exactly how big this week is, how impactful this week is. Because of that, thanks for sticking with me. And I hope you can see how these energies are playing out in your life. What I'm going to do now is how do I pick which one of these energies I want to talk about for each sign? They're all so impactful, they're all so important, and they're all interplaying with one another all week long. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to talk about what it means for this stellium energy in Aquarius to be in each sign. Not in each sign, but, you know, for each rising sign, or sun or moon, if you are interested in that as well. So I'm going to start with my sign. I'm going to start with Pisces. I'm going to give us a Guernsey first. So Pisces rising, sun or moon people, well, the stellium is falling in your 12th house. So it's in 12th house realms that the energy is being really stirred up for you this week. And this is where we may have, if we're Pisces rising, a very obsessive focus. Well, that's quite all right for us Pisces, because we're very 12th house in our energy anyway, Pisces rising, sun or moon. Pisces is also all about the ethereal realms. Pisces is also all about connecting to the divine energies, the angels, the unseen guides, angelic guides, or past loved ones that are sort of steering us through life, so to speak. And so there's this big, strong emphasis on this energy. Some people who are Pisces strong might start channeling under this energy. They might suddenly get big downloads from the divine, from past loved ones under this energy. Watch out that we can become very obsessive about this house, as is the nature of a stellium. We might be sort of just always thinking about channeling, and, you know, that's all that we can think about for the next 2 to 3 weeks with this going on, or we're just consumed with a creative work that we're doing, because it's a very creative house, usually in the realms of creating an illusion. That's the type of creativity we see in the 12th house, sort of costume design, or set design for a film, or creating a photograph, or creating a movie or something, things that aren't quite accurate reality. So we can become obsessed with our creative processes in those realms at this time also. We can also become a bit obsessed with another culture, with escaping. And for Pisces, this is always a bit of a warning bell, okay? Because Pisces, we love to escape. I'm a total hermit, you know. I don't mind, you know, I'm social. Yes, I like to chat and have coffee with friends and what have you, but I don't mind living in the boonies in Australia, away from the big major cities. I'm quite comfortable with my own company, thank you very much. So it's this isolated energy that could be really exacerbated now. And for some Pisces people, they might look to escape from all the madness in the world. So they might turn to under this energy an emphasis on 12th house things, which could be alcohol or drugs, or, you know, doing something that gets them high, so they don't have to participate in the world and what's happening in the world. And quite frankly, you know, I've had times in my life where I've just been like, I I can't do this. I can't participate in this crazy society that is not based on love, and and I just sort of want to cut myself off. And so I don't sort of go down the sort of difficult negative paths of addiction, but for some Pisces that temptation might be there this week because of the exacerbated energy in the 12th house for them. So be careful, and instead, if you feel like you need to run away, if you feel like you need to escape, then I would encourage you to do so in healthy ways. And some of the ways I do that, not that the way I do it's for everybody, but watching a movie or a Netflix series or something, or into a book, or going for a swim or a walk by a river or a lake or something like that, just switches me out of that negativity, because it's a very watery house and Pisces is a watery sign, so being near water is a good thing, or escaping into something that takes you out of the struggle and negativity momentarily, gets you into another space. Even going to a day spa if you can, going and getting your nails done, or maybe having a weekend away might be a good idea if you can manage it somewhere. If you know someone with a holiday house and you aren't sort of restricted by lockdowns and what have you, for Pisces people, if you can afford the time, do it this weekend. You might also be wanting to get back in touch with your past. That can also be a very strong emphasis as well this week, Pisces. And quite frankly, it's already playing out. I last week I was so homesick. Very lonely where I am, and so I went home to the river gums and the red gums where I grew up, and it was so beautiful. And that's part of this energy of wanting to go back to the past, and so if you can do that in healthy ways too, then you can do so under this energy. You might also, for some people who don't sort of want to go back to their past because it was so awful, it might be an energy of purging the past, releasing the past, and letting go of the past that is very strong for you under this stellium energy. So there's just some things that might be playing out for you Pisces people this week, with such a massive emphasis on your 12th house. For Aries rising, sun or moon people, we are seeing the energy of this stellium falling in your 11th house. And so this is where there's a very strong, almost obsessive focus for you for the next week or two. And so the 11th house, what is it? Your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. You might be so consumed by what you want to achieve that everything else goes by the by. Maybe you're an Aries person and someone comes along, you're a single Aries person, somebody comes along and they're so attractive, and ordinarily you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to ask them out on a date, but under this energy you haven't got time, because dating is a 5th house thing and commitment to a relationship is a 7th house thing. They're not even in the ballpark. It's all up here. I'm just, forget that gorgeous person that just came into my life. I'm just focused on my dreams and my goals, and that's all I can think about, and that's all that I want to direct my energy to, and that great opportunity for a connection with somebody passes you by. So I'm not saying that it's going to be a negative experience. No, far from it. Stelliums can be very creative, can be very invigorating, and of course you're a very creative person as an Aries fire energy. So the dreams and the goals will be at the forefront for you, is the illustration I'm trying to give here. They're going to be the predominant focus for you. What do you want to achieve? Where are you heading now? What new things are you starting in maybe your career that are going to lead to rewards, that are going to lead to recognition and accolades and financial gain for you? So big focus, big even perhaps obsession in that realm. There's also friends. Friends are a very strong influence for you in the next couple of weeks. So you might be reaching out to friends or reconnecting with friends, or they might be getting in touch with you and you wanting to include and involve you. So friendship, connection, networking, big emphasis this week. And for people who are in lockdown, that can be a bit challenging, because we can't connect. I mean, we're not in lockdown in Australia at the moment, touch wood, but we went through that last year and we know what it's like. And for you guys who are suffering through it at the moment, it's really hard, because when we're getting this energetic pull to go and connect and be with our friends and so on, and we can't physically do that, it's really difficult. It's like you're bucking the energy or usurping the energy. So find ways to connect this week, Aries, with people. Maybe Zoom meetings is one option for you to sort of check in with those you care about. Have a virtual coffee with a friend. Or if you aren't in lockdown and you can catch up with people, do something with your friends, be with your friends. Take time to do that over the next couple of weeks. Invest in your friends, care for your friends, be kind to your friends, uplift your friends, and goals and dreams. That's really where it's at. You may also be feeling very inventive and creative, so you're probably, great energy for creating something new, inventing something progressive, getting involved in certain networks, maybe online, social media. Getting involved in groups and clubs might be something that you're really keen on this week. It's a great energy to focus on that too. So that's the energy that we're really seeing strong for you this week, with an emphasis on your 11th house. For Taurus rising, Sun or Moon people as well, we're looking at this stellium falling for you in your 10th house, an angular house, a very important house in the horoscope, all about career, how you shine in the world, and your ability to have a sense of authority in the world as well. So this is where you're going to be almost obsessive. Stellium energy is a bit obsessive. It's focused on the one area, and the rest of the chart is kind of not much happening. So big, strong focus on your career this week, Taurus. What are you achieving in career? How is your career trajectory looking? What can you do to enhance your career profile? Or if you are working for yourself as part of your career, your public profile, your visibility in the world, your ability to be seen and to shine. Your sense of authority. So what is it that you can contribute to that realm of your life that's going to enhance things? That's where your thoughts are going to be. That's where your motivations are going to be with this energy. Now, for you guys, it could be very hard to sort of take action under this energy because you've got Mars and Uranus sort of stirring you up, wanting you to get moving. Let's do something. Let's go. But it's making a square to all this energy. So if you're feeling frustrated, like I can't achieve or I can't develop my career the way I'm wanting to right now, use it as a time for planning, for researching, for preparation, in readiness for when this energy kind of dissipates of the square aspect, and then you can put things into action and move forward, move ahead. So use this time to plan for a career move. A lot of people might see sudden windfalls in career come this week, a sudden promotion, a sudden opportunity, but keep your eyes peeled and don't be afraid to jump in and have a crack. If an opportunity presents itself for a career advancement or an increase in growing your client base or getting some recognition from a boss or a senior figure or someone like that, these things can come your way under this week's energy. Okay, if we are Gemini rising, Sun or Moon people, well, this massive stellium is falling in our 9th house, and this is really a beautiful placement for the stellium because it's trining your rising sign, Gemini, or your sun sign or your moon sign, and this is one of the most auspicious houses in the horoscope, the 9th house. So there's going to be a strong energetic pull to 9th house things for you this week. Maybe studying something at a very high level. You might suddenly get the impetus to go back to university or to get a degree or a certificate in something that is beyond what you already know. You might get a strong pull to connect with an inspirational figure or a guru or a mentor of some description. You might also find that you might become obsessed with a guru, or obsessed with a mentor. You read Eckhart Tolle and suddenly you just can't get enough. You're obsessive about it. That's what stellium energy does. And you're watching every video he's ever put out on YouTube, and you've bought up every book you can, and you're just obsessed. This mentor has inspired the life out of you, Not that there's anything wrong with that. Go for it. I think that's awesome. But this is part of the stellium energy. So you might experience that this week. You might also find that you're quite obsessive about cultures as well, and learning new cultures, experiencing new cultures. If we can't travel to other cultures, you might be jumping virtually on documentaries of, the Balkans and looking at Siberia or something like that, and let me research all these different cultural places that are so different to where I'm at. Big emphasis on obsession with that kind of thing this week too, which is great. But the bottom line with this energy in the ninth house is that it's all about the expansion of our heart and mind and soul. That's really what the ninth house wants to do. And so whatever takes you to a place of expansion is where you're going to be obsessed this week. It's where your creative juices are going to be flowing. So it might be through reading books, it might be through connecting with wise people, it might be through experiencing other cultures, it might be immersing yourself in a religious practice, but whatever expands your heart and soul and mind, that's where you're going to want to go. It's a very adventurous energy as well. So you're going to feel that pull this week. Celebrate it if it comes. It's coming as a result of all this energetic focus in one of the most blessed houses of the horoscope. Of course, if our mind and our heart and soul expands, that's a blessing. It's not the house of our joy. That's a different house. That's the fifth house. But it's the house of feeling blessed. And I don't know about you, but when my heart feels big, if I stand in a field at night under the Milky Way, I feel expanded, and there's nothing like it in the whole wide world. I feel bigger. In a way, I feel really small too, I've got to say. I feel very insignificant in the great expanse of things. But I also feel really like I can breathe like never before under that beautiful expanse of space, So I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but maybe you've experienced that and you know what it feels like. Expanding your heart and mind and soul is one of the most beautiful, empowering experiences that I feel a human being can have. And we get that through many things. You guys this week will be experiencing that to some degree or another. Cancer rising, sun or moon people. Well, the energy of this full-on stellium is happening in your 8th house. So this is where you're going to be almost obsessively focused this week. A stellium energy is a tremendous intentional focus into one realm of life, and it's obsessive. And of course, this is a house of obsessions. It is connected to the energy of Scorpio and Pluto, and we can be, like when we've got a stellium in the 8th house, we can become like one of those people, like you see those artists and those, just practitioners who They stay in their room for weeks at a time and they don't come out to, barely to go to the toilet. They're that obsessed with what they're producing, what they're creating, what they're designing. There's this total obsessive quality about something that they're doing. And that's very much what we might see going on here. Maybe you come up with an inventive idea. It's Aquarian energy after all. And you just obsess about it to the exclusion of eating or going to bed at the right time or whatever. You become really immersed in whatever it is that you're doing. It might be creating some new invention or doing some progressive work. It might be some humanitarian cause, Aquarian energy, or it could be an 8th house cause. It could be an 8th house theme. It might be you're obsessed with astrology and you're just staying up until 1 a.m. reading astrology books every night because you can't get enough. Maybe you are obsessed with psychology and the work of Carl Jung, or you're really fanatical about shamanism right now, or intrigued by past life regression work, can't get your hands on enough information about past life regression, and you're watching this video and that video, because all of these alternative spiritual practices are seen from the 8th house. Now, the 8th house rules other things as well, but for me, it's just such a strong energy of alternative practices, the 8th house. And that's because the 8th house at a core level is about transformation and change, renewing ourselves, reinvigorating ourselves, reinventing ourselves. How do we do that? Through, experiencing things at a very deep level. That's what changes us at the core. It's not superficial in any way, shape or form. It's about, if I have a past life regression, it will change your life. It will change your life. Having a past life regression. I just cannot reiterate that strongly enough. If you learn astrology, it will change your life. It will change your perception of the world, of life, of history, of who we are as people, as individuals, and as a collective. Astrology will change you. If you are, get into psychology and start studying the different psychological archetypes and what have you, it's going to change your view of yourself and of people. This is not a superficial house. It's not about, how much money have I got in the bank or anything like that. It's about what is going to change you at a core level. So this is why I get really excited about eighth house, sort of, you'd call it spirituality, or eighth house energetic beliefs, because that's where we change and that's where we renew and rebirth. Very eighth house. So for you guys, for Cancer rising people this week, it's a massive week of change, of growth, of rebirthing. For some Cancer people, they'll be emerging out of the underworld. For some Cancer people, there will be an emphasis on not necessarily battling underworld demons, but purging yourself of underworld demons. And by underworld demons, I mean the dark night of the soul, your inner psychological battles and struggles. They might come from a past life, they might come from early childhood. There is this very psychological process that comes with a stellium in the eighth house. There's also a real hunger for power that comes with a stellium in the eighth house that you might be experiencing this week. I want to have some control over my life. I want to, well, particularly for Cancer people, you're going to feel really strongly that you want more safety and security in your life, because it might feel a bit like the rug's been pulled out from under you. So there'll be a bit of a roller coaster, potentially some upheaval that comes when we change who we are and when we change our lives. There could be a bit of a roller coaster ride this week, and Cancer people like stability and security. So, it could be that the equilibrium's a little bit out of balance this week. The things are a bit awry, changing, turning around, mutating, whatever. And Cancer people, it's not that Cancer is a fixed energy, but it's it wants to be secure and stable, and if that feels threatened, it can be a bit disconcerting. So be aware, Cancer people, if you're feeling a bit disconcerted this week, it's going to pass. It's only going to be sort of around for like the couple of weeks that we have this stellium, and just ride your way through it as best you can. Get support if you need it. Reach out to friends if you need to talk things out. Cancer people, like to share their feelings generally with people that they feel safe with. Do that. Find the support mechanisms that work for you, and you can ride through this knowing that you're really changing through this. You're being refined, you're being renewed, you're being renovated at a soul level through this experience of a stellium transiting through your eighth house. All right, moving along, Leo rising, sun or moon people. Well, the energy of this stellium is opposing your sign. It's falling for you, get that straight, in the 7th house of your horoscope. What does this mean? Well, it's in 7th house things that you might be feeling a little bit obsessive. Now, if you had this in a natal chart, you might find that you are the kind of person who obsesses over other people. Now, for a Leo person, that could be really difficult, because Leo energy is all about me, who I am, how I express in the world, how I show up in the world. It's about, I am the center of my kingdom, like the king. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just Leo energy. It needs to be, we've all got ego somewhere. We wouldn't be functioning on the planet if we didn't have an ego. Leo is connected to ego. So that's the general state of being for a Leo person. But when there's a stellium in the 7th house, we become obsessed by somebody else. We become drawn to somebody else's energy. We become focused on somebody else's energy. Now that can be hard for a Leo person. So be warned this week, Leo people. I'm a Leo sun, so that could be me. I'm going to be very cautious about becoming obsessed by anybody this week. That is one of the expressions of a stellium in the 7th house. Be careful with that. One of the other ways we might express it is to bring creativity to our relationships and our partnerships. That can be business partnerships, it can be trade deals, it can be with our clients, it can be with our significant other, our committed partner. But it's in this realm that there's so much emphasis, commitment, relationship. You can bring creativity to that. How can you enhance your relationship in a creative way? And you're going to come up with really innovative ideas for enhancing relationships and partnerships this week, bringing more harmony, bringing more balance to that realm of your life. So that's a positive way to deal with it. Look at how you can invigorate your relationships, enhance your relationships, rather than going into the obsessive path for the next 2 weeks. And it is just a transiting energy as well. It's not going to be here permanently. So any obsessions that do begin, they may not last for the long term, but maybe it could be fun while it lasts. So it is a transiting energy. The seventh house is also where we harmonize things. Well, having all this focus and dominance in the seventh house, it may harmonize your life, but there's a lot of energy swirling around in a house that likes balance and harmony. So I would say actually you might be feeling a bit on the opposite extreme. You might be feeling a little bit unharmonious, I think is the right word, with this energy here, because there's so much stirring up of a usually an energy that likes to be steady. And of course, this is a fixed sign as well. So a stirring up of a fixed energy can be a bit disconcerting, a bit uncomfortable. So that could be a thing too. So if you're a Leo person, do what you need to do to create balance, create harmony in your life between work, between family, between play, between creative work and endeavors, between exercise, find your harmony and kind of stick with it as best you can this week to help ride you through the energies that are swirling around here. Now, I just do want to mention, particularly for Leo people, because this is such a Venusian inspired week, which we talked about in the intro, I hope you caught that. Because this is such a Venusian inspired week, and it's in the house that is connected to Venusian things such as relationships. For you guys, you might find that there's a stronger emphasis on relationships this week, that relationships and relational energies are really where the focus is. So you might be beginning a new relationship, you might be trying to deal with an old one. That is going to be what the focus is for you, because there's a stellium here, and because, as I said in the intro, Venus is one of the predominant influences planetarily this week, and Venus is about relationships. So if you haven't listened to the intro, Leo people, can I encourage you to go back and do so, because you're probably going to get a lot more out of it than most people will. Okay, Virgo rising, sun or moon people, you are going to be having this energy of the stellium falling in your sixth house. But this will be familiar to you because you're a Virgo. Your sixth house energy is not an unknown energy for you. And the emphasis and the stirring up and the strong focus of energy on the sixth house will be like, yep, I know how to do this. I've got this. This is the bag. I can handle this energy. Having a good routine. You might be more obsessive than usual about having a good routine, about sorting out problems and fixing things, about sort of analyzing what you're going to use and what you're going to just put to the side. It's about creating good structure for routines, such as having an exercise routine and diet, and maybe a good daily habits that you want to support. You're going to be so focused on that at this time. It's going to be really where the energy is going, and you're really good at this sort of thing anyway, Virgo. So enjoy that. This is a house of conflict, the sixth house. So this energy being stirred up here, you might be a bit become obsessive about a conflict situation that you find yourself in. You might become very obsessive about because stellium energy can be very obsessive, and the focus of energy is in a singular area of the chart, in this case the area of conflict. If you're going through a divorce, if you're going through some sort of court case, then you might find it's all you can think about, and at nighttime you try to go to sleep and it's just playing through your head, through your mind, because the energy, the focus is on how to deal with this conflict, how to deal with this court case and what have you. So that could be very strong for you this week as well. So have some strategies in place to help you cope if you're getting too obsessive, if your thought processes are becoming too mental in one, too anxious, too sort of even depressive in one way as well, because it's a difficult house, the sixth house energy. In the light sense, it is routines and daily habits and pets and nice things, but it's also a house of, as I said, of conflict and problems that need fixing. So keep in mind strategies to help you deal with those things as the energy there is stirred up more than usual for you in the coming week ahead. Hopefully it does not instigate somebody initiating a court case against you or being an enemy towards you. This is open enemies. Hopefully it doesn't sort of stir up the energy with your enemies or people who are out to give you a rough time or people who want to bring you down or something. I hope for Virgo's sake that it doesn't stir up that kind of thing. Perhaps instead, Virgo, put a big emphasis this week on focusing on how you can serve people, how you can help people, how you can heal problems in people's lives. If you direct your energy there, it's going to sort of almost be a barrier for you in the attacks of enemies. So, what does your neighbor need doing? Do they need a casserole made for them, or do they need their lawn mown, or maybe you need to offer to walk their dog or something like that, or maybe you've got a child or a friend or someone who just needs some love and kindness and some sort of service done for them, some practical, useful service. You're brilliant at that, Virgo. I would throw your energy into that wherever you can in the week ahead, and it'll come easy for you because this energy is drawing you to that sort of thing anyway. But that's the higher manifestation of the 6th house, and that is where you can mitigate, if you like, the negative lower energies of enemies sort of taking you to court, or somebody attacking you at work and that kind of stuff. So that would be my pearls of wisdom, if you want to call them that, for how to deal with this energy. For Libra rising or sun or moon people. Whoa, so Libra people, you're having this stellium in the 5th house. It's all about love and joy of the heart, dating, romance, pleasure with children, what brings fun and happiness into your life. I'm a Libra moon. Yay. Oh, this is so great. I'm just realizing. So this is wonderful energy. This is the 2nd luckiest house in the horoscope, and it has to do with hobbies and like I've said, anything that gives you joy. So anything that's creative and creative self-expression. It is also a house of celebrities. So some Libran people might find that their popularity or their worldly recognition in a sort of a celebrity way goes skyrockets this week, with so much energy being stirred up there. And if that's something you're wanting, well, more power to you. Great. It's also, you might find some Libran people, because, and if you watch the intro, and I hope you did, it was a very long one, but Libran people especially should watch the intro, because so much of the emphasis this week is on the impact of Venus, your ruling planet, rules your sign, and what it's doing in terms of connections with all these planets in this stellium, and how much this week is all about relationships through the activities of Venus. So check out the intro if you didn't already, Libra, because not only is Venus, your ruling planet, getting jiggy with a ton of planets in Aquarius now, stirring up relational energy, which I know you're interested in if you're a Libra. Not only that, but it's happening in your 5th house. Of dating, of romance, of boyfriends, of girlfriends, of love and experiencing love and sex for the sake of fun and joy and pleasure. These are 5th house things. So you are getting a monstrous stirring up of energy in this realm. If you're a single Libra person, you might find that someone comes into your life under this energy this week, and you have the stellium to thank for that. If you're a Libra person in a committed relationship or in a dating type relationship, this energy could really enhance your relationship this week. But again, I come back to listening to the intro. There are certain days this week that are going to be shit for relationships, and you'll feel those. So check out what days that's going to be by listening to the intro and note them down. But all in all, relationship capacity is at a high level. The ability to manifest a new relationship, to generate love, to generate romance in your current relationship, it's all happening this week. You may be a bit obsessive about it even. This is an energy of where all our attention is going, and it's going to the 5th house this week. Now, if you don't want to be obsessive about a boyfriend or a girlfriend, if you don't want to be obsessive about my lack of love or whatever, and no one's turning up, and then direct your energy into being obsessive about a hobby or something that brings you pleasure or joy. Now, it could be making a garden, or it could be performing on stage, or writing a song, or it might be writing a book or something, or setting up a website. Whatever brings you joy, that's your hobby, that's your interest, that just you do, not because it's going to get you money, not because it's going to make you famous. You just do it because you love it, because it just fills you with a buzz that nothing else does. Direct your energy to that. There's just so much emphasis on focusing on your joy this week, Libran people. You guys stand to be most blessed. I feel, out of the energy of this week. So enjoy and be blessed. Now, your children, I do need to also mention as well, if you're a Libra person with children, that's seen from the 5th house. And a Libra person, if you've got children, the relationship could be stirred up. Some days this week that might be a bit volatile, especially the days when we're having an aspect from Uranus and Mars to certain personal planets. There could be some heated words. There could be some lack of love and affection between you and a child. So watch out for those days. But generally speaking, you are going to be very focused on loving your children, experiencing the happiness of the 5th house with your children, the creativity with your children. It's generally, I think, the potential is there for it to be quite positive for you. Look, there's many interpretations of a stellium, as I also said in the introduction. I'm using the positive interpretation of a stellium. The negative interpretation would say that we're feeling empty in this area because all the planets are invisible because they're so close to the sun. I am erring on that more positive side, and I'm doing that because of what I've observed going on in my own life in the lead up to this particular stellium. And I am seeing more of the positive energy playing out in my life. And so that's why I'm erring on that side. But if you want to know about the sort of the more challenging side of this particular stellium, then again, listen to the intro. It will go through all that. Okay, for Scorpio rising, sun or moon people, the energy of this stellium is falling for you in the 4th house. Now, this is one of the angular houses. It's a very important house in the horoscope. And of course, that means that, you know, all this fixed energy in Aquarius and Taurus is very impactful on you because it's angular to your rising sun or moon sign. So you're going to feel this very strongly this week. And what is a stellium all about? Well, I broke down each of the varying transits that are occurring in the intro that I gave. Check that out because you'll be feeling those things very strongly too. But I'm covering now for all signs what it means to have a stellium in a single sign. And this is where we can get a bit obsessive. This is where we can get really, really intensely focused. Because this is the 4th house, the house of our emotional self and our foundation for life, when we get obsessive about that, we might find we can become a bit anxious. So if you're prone to anxiety or you're prone to depression or obsessive thinking and that kind of thing, just be careful this week. You know, have some strategies in place for dealing with that kind of thing because this energy is a bit volatile that way, okay, this week. So just heads up on that one. But generally, when we've got an obsessive focus in a certain area, it means we've got a lot of creative juice flowing that area, through that area as well. So if you're looking at property investment or real estate development, if you're looking at establishing a garden or, renovating your domestic environment, if you're looking at generating a more positive feel in your home life, in your relationship with your family and the family line that you come from, this is a great energy for you because you'll bring creative process to all those things. You'll be able to see a property that you're thinking of investing in and think really creatively about, well, you know what, if I painted that wall that color and I did that to that would just change everything. And my goodness, then I could get $100,000 extra back on this house when I flip it and sell it. You will have the creative juices rolling in those realms of real estate and property and so on that I described. You'll also might be obsessing a lot about family. So maybe there's a sick family member in your lineage and it's all you can think about. It's all you can focus on. Maybe your mum's not well, or maybe you are in lockdown and you can't connect with your mother who needs you, and it's just consuming you. Energy of the 4th house, when there's a stellium there, becomes a bit obsessive about 4th house things. And sometimes that's circumstantial, sometimes it actually comes from within us. So in this case, a lot of what's happening is coming from our foundation of our early childhood experience or our emotional stability that we have. So if you're an emotionally stable person, you're going to cope better with this energy. If you're someone who goes through a bit of an upheaval, then it might be a challenging week for you. Again, I just encourage you to have your strategies in place for dealing with it. So one of the best ways to deal with this energy, if you're a Scorpio person, is to bring creativity into your home. Now that means doing creative projects from home, but it can also mean being creative on your home. Start, like, make a planter box full of herbs, or make this week the week you're going to sew those curtains for your living room, or whatever it is that needs doing around your house. Use this energy to support you by investing creatively in your home and domestic environment. That will help a lot, and it will mitigate any sort of more challenging energies. Let's say mum is sick and you can't be there for her, and it's consuming you, and it's all you can think about, and it's causing you an emotional upheaval. Well, if you can't do anything about it and you can't change the way things are, then focus your energy in on, okay, I'm going to braid myself a rug for the bedroom or something like that, and do some creative project for home. Send those obsessive energies into something positive this week, and it will help you through so much more. Yeah, that's probably the main thing I wanted to say. And with Venus being such a predominant planet in this week's energy, beautifying something and bringing beauty to some home environment is a really good thing to do. You might also want to do creative projects with your family, you know, not necessarily with your children. It could be with your partner. It could be with, you know, a sister or a brother. Like, family members are seen through this house in the chart. So you might like to do some creative project with your sister, or, you know, get your children to help you dig out a patch of the garden and grow some strawberries or something like that. Get creative or get productive with your family, and again, you mitigate any sort of struggling energy that might come with this very emotionally based house. All right, for Sagittarius rising or sun or moon people, or all three if you happen to be triple Sag, we are seeing this energy of the stellium falling in your third house. That means there's going to be a very strong, significant focus on third house themes for you this week. That means that you even could get very obsessive about third house things. Maybe you're building a website, and you're going to bed at like 2 a.m. because you just I'll click in this and I'll put that there and I'll make this website, and you're obsessed about your website construction. Or maybe you're obsessed about a certain novelist that you have discovered and you can't get enough of their books, so you're reading. I mean, third house has to do with reading and writing and communicating. And you're just reading incessantly this one author. Or maybe you're writing something, maybe you've got to write a paper for university or for work or something, and you're just obsessing over it. So this energy is going to draw your attention very strongly to third house things of writing, speaking, communicating. Also using your hands, your skill sets. Maybe you're practicing wood carving or something like that, and you absolutely love it. And, you get to a point this week where you find that you've spent every waking minute out in the shed doing your wood carving because it's becoming obsessive. Well, this is a transiting stellium, so it's not going to last. Enjoy it. Go for it. Dig into that sculpting or that wood carving or whatever it is that you're using your hands for, and just enjoy it, because it's not going to be a permanently, obsessive state that you're going to be in. What else can we see with the third house? It's a house of trade and administration and business, so business affairs. So you might be very focused on organizing your business affairs, on sorting out some sort of trade agreements, on communicating online, on maybe creating a course or doing some sort of content for social media or something like that. You can become very focused on that. Doing an advertising campaign, doing a marketing campaign. You might also be very focused on running a workshop or participating in a workshop. That could be very strong for you this week, and being part of some sort of small group of network of workshopping opportunities. You could also be even very focused and pulled towards something that's happening in your neighborhood, because the energy of the third house is localized. It's what's happening in my neighborhood. It's what's happening in my immediate environment. What's happening with my actual neighbors, but also my, my street. And so you might even find that you're going on a short trip and a localized trip quite a lot this week. You might be doing a lot of runs between this town and that town in your localized area, because there's so much emphasis and energy being put on the third house, which is also short trips and short journeys. So that could be a thing as well. So I hope this helps you know why certain things are playing out in your life this particular week. It's because if you're experiencing any of those scenarios, it's because there's a big energetic pull of planets in that realm of your chart. You can't avoid this. It's just where the attention of this week is going. And finally, second to last, I should say, Capricorn rising, sun or moon people. We're seeing the energy of the Aquarius stellium this week falling in your second house. What does this mean? Well, it means that this is where there is an energetic pull, an energetic focus, even almost an obsession that's going to last for a couple of weeks. And that might be on for you money. My money, how is money being made? How am I hanging on to my money? How is my accumulation of money going? And not just money, possessions, things that you need to support your journey for life. Do I have enough food in the pantry? Is there enough toilet paper in the laundry cupboard? You might be thinking a lot about that sort of thing. So big focus on what we have for our journey in life. And you'll be thinking almost obsessively about that. I will also add, though, that a stellium is always creative, and you might be coming up with beautiful creative concepts for how to generate more money, how to generate more toilet paper in your laundry cupboard, how to make your food go further and get more value out of the food that you have. And so very much this is the energy, this is the pull. It can be a bit obsessive, but it's okay. It's only going to last a couple of weeks. But there's a strong focus on your stuff, what you have that is supporting your journey through life. Now, second house also has to do with our self-worth and our self-value. It's really interesting that this week, if you listen to the intro that I gave, I talked extensively this week about how Venus is one of the key planets for the week that we're facing. And Venus is very connected in its themes to the second house. So check out the intro. For Capricorn people, I think you might find that the influences of Venus will be quite strongly felt this week in your second house. And of course, money and is a value. We use money to buy things that we value. It's our attitude towards money is seen through the second house. But Venus is our values and what we value, and including how we value ourselves. So second house being about values, including how we value ourselves, you might be looking at your worthiness this week. You might be called to assess, how worthy you feel, how worthy you are, how worthy, you consider yourself to have a certain thing, or to experience a certain relationship, or to have a certain role in life. You'd be looking at be looking at your value and how worthy you feel. So take time if you need to address that as an issue in your life. It's the energy's pulling you there anyhow. Okay, and finally for Aquarius rising, sun and moon people, well, no surprises, guys. The stellium is falling in your first house. It's all about you. The focus for you guys in the next couple of weeks is all about you, but not just, who am I? And, this is me. It's about how do you show up in the world? How true to yourself are you being? The energy of a stellium, it's pulling in almost an obsessive focus on a singular point in the chart. For you, it's in the realm of you and how you are thriving. Are you thriving? Do you feel like you're flourishing in life? Well, this energy this week is going to call you to address that. What needs to change so that I will thrive, so that I will flourish? There's a calling here with this strong energy. You might even get a bit obsessive about that, perhaps a bit obsessive about making the changes and doing the work so that you will thrive, so that you won't just exist on planet Earth but rather that you will flourish and blossom and have a role to play in society. So big focus on assessing those themes, big focus on perhaps instigating something new, starting something new in your life, turning over a new leaf, establishing something fresh. Big focus there. It's a very creative house. It's an action-oriented house, the first house. So it's about taking action for what isn't working and that supports you, and making things right for what will. It's also the house of your image as well, how you look. So a lot of Aquarian people will be reviewing their image and saying, you know what, I need to change the color of my hair, or I need a brand new wardrobe of clothes because the image I'm presenting isn't in alignment with who I am anymore. Big focus on, even almost an obsessive focus on how you are visibly, physically in the body, showing up in the world. Now, the ruler of your sign is actually in your 4th house at the moment, and this is modern astrology. And as I said in the intro, it's making a Parivartana yoga, or a mutual exchange with Venus, the ruler of the 4th house for you. And this is quite an auspicious Parivartana yoga, where you're going to be held through this week. You're going to be supported through the energy of this week. In fact, Venus being in your sign is lifting up the energetic expression of your ruling planet, Uranus. So it could be a very positive week for you, where you revamp your image, where you look at how you're thriving and surviving, and there's great long-term benefit that comes out of this because of this mutual exchange that's occurring this week as well. So whatever you work on, whatever you change, whatever new things you instigate in this week ahead regarding you and your body's journey through life, it stands to be very positive for you in the long run, even if there's some upheaval and a bit of a roller coaster ride to begin with. So I'm seeing it as being quite a positive expression for you. Well, people, thank you so much for joining me for this trip around the zodiac once more. I'll have another weather report for you next week, as always. But for now, let's close with an invitation to the energy of the universe to support us. Energy of love present in the universe. We are grateful for what this stellium can do for society as a whole and for us as individuals. Help us to work with the best possible outcome that this energy could bring. Help us to lift our vibration this week. Flow through us so that we can be more highly attuned and sensitive to the expressions of love that want to flow through humanity right now. We thank you for the changes happening on Earth. Help us to be vessels that usher in the new age of brilliance and enlightenment that we all hope is unfolding for us now. And so it is. Well, thank you one and all. I'll catch you next week.